Automatic Transmission Fluid Exchange.com Automatic Transmission Flush System, Automatic Transmission Fluid Exchange System. The full automatic oil exchange by dynamic purging after Tim Eckart Methode for the prevention and elimination of automatic transmission problems with electronically controlled converter clutch lock up. Universal guide for all automatic transmissions. Flushing of a McLaren SLR 722 edition. Pouring in the cleaner. If there is a dipstick, first check the oil level and the oil quality. Then pour 400 ml of the automatic gearbox cleaner into the dipstick opening and drive the car for 15 minutes. The automatic gearbox cleaner must only remain in the gearbox for maximum 90 minutes. Connecting flushing system. Change position level horizontal, flow position level vertical. The flushing system is connected in the return or in the flow of the heat exchanger, where the simplest connection is possible. Dismantle the heat exchanger pipes and fit suitable adapters to them. Return pipe. Connect the pipe which comes from the heat exchanger and delivers the oil back in the direction of the gearbox to the left red marked hose of the automatic oil change system. Connect the right green marked hose of the automatic oil change system to the return pipe which leads to the gearbox. Flow pipe. Connect the pipe which comes from the gearbox and delivers the oil in the direction of the heat exchanger to the left red marked hose of the automatic oil change system. Connect the right green marked hose of the automatic oil change system to the flow pipe which goes to the heat exchanger. If correctly connected, the oil flows in the through-flow position level vertical from left to the right through the automatic oil change system. Pumping in the cleaner. If there is no dipstick opening for introducing the automatic gearbox cleaner, the cleaner must be pumped in as described below. Put the automatic oil change system to the through-flow position level vertical. Start the engine. Unscrew the lid of the old oil canister and hold it over the 2000 ml measuring beaker. Switch briefly to the change position level horizontal until 1.6 liters of the old oil is in the measuring beaker. Pour 400 milliliters of the old oil from the measuring beaker into the old oil canister. Screw the old oil lid back on tightly. Switch the engine off. Fill the measuring beaker with 400 milliliters of automatic gearbox cleaner again up to the volume of 1.6 liters and pump it with the 12-volt pump. For this use, the short adapter hose which enables to the oil to be sucked directly out of the measuring beaker. Then either disconnect the adapter or bridge it with the bridge hose and drive the vehicle for 15 minutes or run it on the lifting ramp with the vehicle in gear R for 5 minutes or gear D for 5 minutes. All drive wheels blocked, no acceleration, just idling. After that, drive through all gears in chassis dynamometer mode or ASP off. The drive wheels are to be free and unblocked during this procedure. Start of the oil change. Pour 9 to 14 liters of suitable new oil into the new oil canister and close it. Block all drive wheels securely. Set the automatic oil change system to the change position, level horizontal, and connect to the adapter. Start the engine and engage gear D. Do not press the accelerator.
So, jetzt wird das Getriebe leer gepumpt.
The automatic gearbox will now be pumped empty until no more old oil comes out. After this, switch on the 12-volt pump. When connected to the return pipe, new oil is pumped in until the right hose and the pipe right up to the gearbox is filled with new oil. This is not necessary if the fitting is carried out directly at the gearbox and if there is still oil from the flushing percent in the right hose. When connected to the flow pipe, new oil is pumped in until the heat exchanger and the pipe to the gearbox is filled with new oil, 0.5 to 1 liter depending on the heat exchanger size.
So, jetzt werden 1,5 Liter frisches Öl eingepumpt.
Switch off the 12-volt pump. Continue to pump empty. When no more old oil comes out, switch briefly to gear R. Do not press the accelerator.
So, jetzt wird nochmal das Getriebe leer gepumpt.
Then switch off the engine. And dismantle the oil sump. The oil drain screw must be opened if the oil sump cannot be dismantled, and then clean the oil sump with the magnets.
Das sieht aber mal gut aus. Okay.
The residual oil in the oil sump oil filter is required in the old oil canister for the measuring the entire quantity of old oil which comes out of the gearbox. If the converter has an oil drain screw, this should also be opened. Replace or update any missing magnets. Renew the oil filter if this can be dismantled or changed. Clean oil filter. Install the oil sump with a new gasket. Test the electrical connection for leaks and if possible pull out the connection plug.
Achso, ja, den DTM-Szene. Ja.
Ja, der ist okay. 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 Und wir haben jetzt ca. 7 Liter drin.
Then switch on the 12-volt pump and fill the gearbox, depending on the gearbox size, with 3 to 4 liters of new oil. With low flushing, there must be an additional of 0.5 to 1 liter of new oil pumped in.
So, jetzt werden 5 Liter eingepumpt.
Flushing. Start the engine. The 12-volt pump is still switched on. Later off. Engage gear R. Do not press the accelerator. All drive wheels to be blocked. After 50 seconds, engage gear D. Do not press the accelerator. If clean oil comes into the transport hose at the bottom by the freeway tap, then let run more than circa 2 to 3 liters in the old oil canister, overflushing. After this, switch to the through flow position level vertical and pump in the same quantity of new oil as is present in the old oil canister. With gearboxes in which the cleaner was added through the dipstick open, pump in 0.4 liter less new oil than is present in the old oil canister if the oil level at the beginning was correct.
So, jetzt ist die Spülung beendet. Jetzt haben wir umgeschaltet in die Durchlaufstellung.
Now the blocking of the drive wheels solved and go through all the gears on the lifting ramp. Vehicles raised and wheels free and ASP off and roller test bench mode. By accelerating for MB5 gear it is enough to insert gear 1 till 3 and MB7 gear it's enough gear 1 till 4. Engage gear R shortly.
Rückwärtsgang. Okay, bremsen. Bremsen, Vorwärtsgang. So, Vorwärtsgang und jetzt langsam hochfahren. Okay, das reicht.
Check oil level. Measure the oil level in accordance with the manufacturer's specification in gear P with the engine running. Pump in additional new oil by switching on the 12-volt pump. If necessary, switch off the engine briefly or set the correct level by draining off excess oil through briefly switching the change position level horizontal. Switch off the engine. If the gearbox temperature is too high for measuring the oil level, the shortfall can be made up by further pumping a new oil after the oil level check. An additional quantity of 93 milliliters of new oil per 10 liters of oil volume and per 10 degrees of higher temperature must be pumped in. Rule of thumb: 100 milliliters of oil per 10 degrees higher temperature. Dismantle the adapters. Check everything for leaks. Empty the old oil canister test drive. If dipstick, check oil level and add oil. Ready to race. New high-volume version produced by Automatikölwechselsystem and Leitenberger GmbH. For tools, screws, dipsticks. Thermostatically controlled cooler flush with new oil heated to 80 degrees, 3 liters, also as a circulating flushing possible.